We are going to talk about why choose powders, and that's an important distinction when we're talking about key to life products, because all key to life products are micronized, water soluble, powdered nutrients. And you can see here on the back of this bag, we're talking the finest, low, really quality micronized powders of the absolute highest quality. They're extremely soluble. They can come in all shapes and sizes depending on your grow. We've got your 32-ounce bags, we've got your 5-gallon buckets, we got some smaller buckets up there. We've got, your 20-pound bags for your bulk sizes here. We've got 50-pound bags. We've got pretty much any size you need for any size of outfit. Why choose powders? Let's get it rolling. This is our 1-ounce sample of Silver Bullet. This little guy will do anywhere from 50 to 100 gallons depending on your dosage. And we're going to use it today as an example of the surfactants, the built-in surfactant candy coating shell over this product that's going to allow it to not only mix itself into water, but once it's in solution, it's actually going to bind itself to that water and maintain itself in solution. And this is a very small amount here, about 500 milliliters of water, and this usually does about 100 gallons of water. So again, this is way overkill, but it's just a really nice example of how the product works. So you can see it immediately breaks surface tension, fall right down there into solution. You can see it consistently. You can see it start to swirl there a little bit, and that is actually itself mixing itself into water. You see it start to form a little bit of a circle there, starting to whirl a little bit. You can look on top there, see how it's starting to create that little bit of a whirlpool there. Exactly what we're looking for. Very good example. Why should you choose powders? Well, one of the main things is concentration. When you're talking about less than 1% of active ingredient in some liquid fertilizer, and you look at a product like this that has a 97% concentration of active ingredient, and the only other 3% is the enzymatic surfactant that goes with it, you're talking full active ingredient, fully purpose-built powders, and that's a main reason why we're talking about this thing here. So versatility is another one, talking about multiple different uses, where it can be used, how it can be used, multiple systems, whether it's indoor, outdoor, greenhouses, drip lines, hydro systems, does not matter. It's all going to work with Key to Life. Cost efficiency is another main thing when you're talking about, again, application rates of 15 to 30 milliliters per gallon as opposed to an eighth of a teaspoon to a half a teaspoon of this product per gallon. It's a significant difference in application rate, and again, that's going to affect your bottom line and your cost. Shelf life is another main reason. Shelf life is really important. Many liquid fertilizers do not have a very stable shelf life. They do not like to be in the same solution together for very long. So you'll see things falling out of solution. You'll see settling. You'll see nutrients that'll go bad and oxygenate out, causing them to discolor, putrefy, and smell, and in what they're actually containing as far as chemical components and compounds. So again, shelf life. Almost indefinite with a powdered, except for our active living microorganisms, our bacterial and our fungal component. Every single Key to Life product in the proper, cool, dry conditions will basically have an indefinite shelf life, and that can really save you money in the long run, because if you find a product you believe in, find a product you trust, you can buy years in advance of the product, and that's going to save you money. As far as the bigger the size you get, the more money you're going to save, and that's just going to, you don't have to worry about it spoiling or going bad just because it got a little cold or a little bit warm. It's a really good thing for you to have as a peace of mind. The next thing would be shipping and handling. We're not shipping a whole lot of water. If you're thinking about, again, a product that's less than 5% of active ingredient, you're talking 95% water, and that is not what you have your own water. So you don't need to buy bottled water with a small amount of active ingredient. You just want to use the active ingredient. Sustainability and footprint, again, same thing there. Big plastic jugs, little green bag, significantly decreases the amount of plastics utilized, decreases the size and waste in our landfills, because more often than not, especially with fertilizer products, if it's in a liquid form and it's in a plastic bottle, that bottle is going to be disposed of, not recycled, because of the contents there within and their potential, their explosive capabilities, even for some products, when left to fester for long periods of time. We're going to decrease the footprint with this tiny little thin little bag instead of that big bulky jug that you're used to using. So control and timing as well. When you're using simple active ingredient that know the concentration of, you can control your timing much more efficiently and much more effectively. It's not going to give you this, I don't know if I got it mixed well enough. Did I actually get the deliverable amount of nutrition there? My plants are showing deficiencies. We're starting to see weird lockouts and things like that. It's probably because you're not getting what you think you're getting out of your liquid fertilizer as far as what you're applying and what's actually being delivered to the plant system. Granular versus micronized. Again, these are micronized powder, and what that means, fine like flour, really, really, really small and fine, as opposed to a granular where it's more like pelletized, where you can actually see the individuals really, really easily, pick an individual up with your finger very easily. I would be very, very wise to see somebody pick up a single micronized particle with their fingers. So again, the difference there being micronized means more soluble. So even if there is only a 90% solubility rating on the product, such as our silicate product, you're still micronized smaller than the smallest emitter out there. So even before it solubilizes, it's already apt to not clog your emitter. The pros for powders, they're more cost effective. They have the longer shelf life. They have that versatility. You can utilize them in different manners. They're really, really versatile. Whereas opposed, and there are some pros for liquids as well. And again, obviously ease of use, liquid measuring is pretty easy. And it's as far as it goes. Cons for liquid, more expensive for what you're actually getting. For active ingredient, for the amount of ingredient that you're actually applying, the liquid products are extremely cost ineffective. They are very, very expensive for what they actually deliver to the plant system. They're less versatile as well. You can't really pour it directly on your plant. You have to dilute it, sometimes very significantly, or it will cause severe damage. All of our products here at Key to Life can be top dressed. You can put them in solution. You can pretty much do anything with them because they're so gentle and they work so very well. So, many of these synthetic fertilizers, it takes an incredible amount of chemical energy in order to create these chelates and then get them into a solution. We're talking extremely high heat. We're talking extremely, extremely harmful chemicals that are utilized in order to create these bonds and whatnot. And when we're talking about creating medicine or creating nutrient-dense food, these aren't the types of things that we want around our plants. We want things that are, again, going to contribute to the system as opposed to just trying to force their way in and not really contributing to anything as a whole. Layered powder measurement. This is another thing you really can't do with your liquid fertilizers. You can't mix them in a high concentration, individual, pre-mixed solution. They will counteract together. It says right on the bottle, do not mix at a high concentration. They will counteract with each other and you will have problems. Whereas with the dry powder, man, you've got all kinds of options open for you. Liquid synthetic nutrients cannot be mixed together in a concentrated form. Again, just like I said, you can't, it says right on the bottle, do not mix in a concentrate. They will immediately counteract with each other and cause extreme nutrient fallout and some very not good for you and potentially hazardous and dangerous as far as the off gases that are produced from putting those concentrated chemicals together. Key to Life products you can. Due to their carbon-based form, they do not negatively interact when mixed in a concentrated dry form right on top of each other. You can simply tare or zero your scale as you weigh out each product on top of each other. So again, if you need just this amount of this, you need this amount of this, you need this amount of that. You can pre-measure everything up, put it all in one bag, measure it all in one go. You don't have to keep taking things off and putting them on and trying to put them back together. You can just keep putting them powders on top of each other and there will be no negative interactions whatsoever. As absolutely as clear as I can say this, there is no product on our line and in our lineup that is anything less than 75% active ingredient, not even close. Most of them, if not a great majority of them, are 90 to 99% full solubility. So again, this is a really, really different, what separates Key to Life's dry, soluble, powdered fertilizers from everybody else. So with the powder, you can do a reservoir application, you can do a foliar application, you can top dress, you can amend it in the soil, you can do spiked layers and zones, you can do compost teas, you can do dusting applications of actual powder just being dusted directly on the leaf surface. I mean, you cannot do that. Can't even consider that as an option with a liquid fertilizer. Will not work. And with liquids, you're basically stuck with a reservoir application and a foliar application. That is it. This is almost apples and oranges as to how much different things you can do with a powdered, soluble, organic, micronized product like we offer at Key to Life.